Kentucky Sports Radio. Now happy to be joined on the phone by UK's coach, John Calipari. Cal, it's been a while. Great to talk to you.
What's happening? What's happening in BBN?
Well, the first thing, some news that's just breaking. I won't make Shannon play it, but Clarion University, your alma mater, has announced that they're going to name the basketball court after you. It'll be John Calipari Court, and they will call it Cal Court. How exciting. That's got to be huge for you.
That's neat. I mean, you last this long in this profession, stuff like that happens. But, again, I can't wait to see my college teammates and have them bust me saying, I was a better player than you. Why are they naming this court after you? I mean, you couldn't make I could. They're full of crap. I was the best player on the team.
Oh, wow. Okay, well.
We've seen the stats.
But
I don't know if that's true.
It'll be the greatest thing in these kind of, all this stuff is you get together with people. One, you still have a relationship with. You just don't get together enough. And do you know when you usually get together with them?
Somebody dies.
Yes. Oh, we're still living. Let's have some fun and let's enjoy this and tease each other and, smack each other around and have a few beers and laugh. And, our coach will be up there. My high school coach graduated from the same school. We'll talk, both of my coaches. Well, Joe D's probably the coach that coaches there, 85. He'll be there. So it'll be fun. But, those things happen.
Well, congrats on that. You can't talk specifics, but you had a big night last night, and I know you know that. And it feels like you guys kind of hitting your stride on the recruiting trail. I know that's always been important to you. What do you sort of give credit for the success here in the last few weeks, months on the recruiting trail?
Well, it's funny. I had a guy say, recruiting's really picked up. And I go, dude, we've been one or two in the country for every year I've been here. Now, some of those classes weren't as talented, and you're the number one class or two in the class that's not like this class coming up. But, I think, again, it's about the culture that we built here, the results that have happened for the players that has happened here. And then all the other things, you got to have relationships with these kids. You got to spend time. It can't be, a one-way conversation. And sometimes, it becomes that. And you got to, again, listen and hear. And but nothing has changed. We're not making outlandish promises. We're not telling you're going to be the main guy shooting 25. And we're competing against that now. People will just go in and you're starting from day one. Well, you got to earn it here. What kids learn here is to bet on themselves and fight. They'd rather have a guarantee they don't come here. So we don't get everybody. They'll go other places. It's we're not painting we're gonna under-promise and over-deliver. It's just how we do it here. At some point they may say it doesn't work anymore. Well, that'll be at the point that I'm not doing this anymore, because I like to sleep at night and know that I'm not lying to kids or using kids for my own benefit or this school's benefit. This is about these kids, and by us caring about them, number one, they care about all of us. They care about the program. They care about winning. But it's like people that are in the military and they tell stories. I didn't do it for the military. I did it for my brother. And we did it for the military and our country and all that. But I did it. I'm in a foxhole with my brother. That's who I'm doing this for. And for our country. Together we are. But that's kind of how this is here. And I'm proud of the culture we've had. How about the brand in basketball here? What it means. What's been built here with our brand in basketball and our culture in basketball.
Well, speaking of the brand, I'm of the belief that going forward, if not this year, certainly in the years to come, NIL is going to be a huge part of what makes kids make decisions on where to go. Where do you feel like Kentucky is going to stand in that, and how important do you think it is going forward?
All right, now you got to give me a minute now to do this because you can't do name, image, and likeness in 12 seconds, okay?
Go for it.
The first thing I want to tell you is kids are not coming to Kentucky because of NIL. They're coming here because of the culture we've built in basketball, because of the brand, because of the results. But name, image, and likeness can steer them to another school. But they're not going to come here, well, what's name, image, and likeness? That's why, no. But you better have your house in order. Every family that's come in, and everybody's talking about this may be the best class I've ever had in my career. Okay. Every family that's walked through this door has asked about name, image, and likeness. So if you say it doesn't matter, then it may not in volleyball and rifle and baseball. I don't know what it is because I'm not in those sports. But in basketball, it has an effect. Now, everybody talked about the demise of college athletics, the demise of college basketball. You remember when the three-point rule came out? Demise of the sport. They talked about when we did one and done. There were coaches that said, I'll never do it. Next year they did it. It wasn't the demise. All that college basketball has done is gotten better and better. And I think this will get our student athletes engaged in the fans even more. It's a chance for us to teach and protect. And in my view, we should be the gold standard. You know why I know that? Coaches are calling me, what are you doing? The ones that don't want to call me personally are calling everybody around me, what's Cal doing? How is he doing this? And I'll say why. Our fans, number one, it gets them all to come together. Number two, they're looking at it from TV. We rate higher than 90% of the NBA games. And then it's bringing, like, here's what it was great for our team. First of all, they said, we're going to give 10% back to charity. I was so proud and happy because you know what I teach here. You've been to the fantasy experience that having the kids give checks, what we do over Christmas to give rent checks to families and all that. I want them to understand that when they leave us. 10% back to charity. No one else has done that. The other thing they've done is stuff together. When a company comes in, now some of them will make more, some of them will have some individual deals, but they've done things collectively. Now, each has their own contract, but they've done, if you want to come in, let everybody be involved. So I look at that and I say, wait, this is how this should be. It brings us together. It brings our fans together. The other one is it's not an inducement if they're already on your campus. So how do we protect? Let's make sure lawyers are looking at contracts. You know who they didn't know about? When I asked them, do you guys know about this guy, Mr. FICA? You know him? Because that just relentless. Oh, he keeps coming. He doesn't stop until you give him what he's earned. And I had to have an accountant come in and talk to them about taxes and how to have a tax account. This is all good stuff. I'll tell you this one. I said this yesterday, and the media I talked to had no idea. The difference between football and basketball, the major difference. Guys at Ohio State signed a 3-year deal. The guy at Alabama signed a 3-year deal. That's fine. You're going to be in college 3 years. A college basketball player signs a 3-year deal, and he's the number 1 or 2 player in the country. His rookie year and his second year, you've given up that money. You can't do it. It's different in what we're doing. Let me say this. The EO, the executive order, and I'm thankful our governor passed it. We were the only SEC school without a state law. We were it. Well, the executive order, you didn't need it. It's restrictive. Well, it restricted us from being restrictive. I mean, and if there's anything in that executive order that we think needs to change, then David Osborne, our speaker, Robert Stiver, the leader of the Senate, these guys are about the universities in this state and being competitive and about the students here. They are. So I look at this and just say, why a state law? I'm going to finish this up. I don't, and when's the last time I was wrong on something like this, reading tea leaves?
You're pretty good at it. I mean, you're going to say 1973, but you're pretty good at it.
78. I was too young in 73. I was like 2. So let me give you this one. I don't think there's going to be a federal law anytime soon unless there's total chaos. I don't see the chaos. And they've got other things to deal with where they're saying you deal with it yourself. So the state law that we pass must be flexible and nimble and not restrictive. You're not doing this to restrict the kids. We needed this, tied our hands because we couldn't make this more restrictive. When we passed the executive order, so did Ohio and North Carolina. They followed suit, thinking Kentucky was right. So whoever says we were wrong, I beg to differ. We needed that. And now we need a flexible, nimble state law because we don't know where this is going in 6 months. And some state may be doing something that we say we want to do. And the reason flexible, California signed a law that said we're going to do it in 22. They were so far behind everything. Somebody could have said in a state without an EO or a state law, we're not doing this until there's something. What if that were us? Now we're stuck. So California just changed. It took them 6 months to change the law to start in 21. That's why I'm saying flexible, but I think it's going to play out that way. This is huge with college basketball. Our kids collectively have done significant stuff, and it's significant. But they've done it collectively. So I got my stuff out. Now you can ask me a question.
All right, let me just ask you, just listening to you talk there, and look, I don't know you better than anybody, but I know you a little bit, and there is an energy and an excitement to you that obviously was not there last year. It feels like you've been sort of re-energized. To use the phrase people like to say on the internet, it feels like you're Swaggy Cal again. Is that something I'm just hearing, or is it actually true?
Well, first of all, I'm coaching my team, which excites me. That's what I enjoy doing. The games get in the way of a great profession. I love being on the floor with these kids, and the game piece becomes chess matches with the other guys, and it becomes the inspirational part of what we do. But being on the court, seeing growth by young people inspires me. Change. I don't get afraid of change. It inspires me. Like the one-and-done stuff, the dribble drive stuff. I'm doing some things a little different this year. When you see the team, you'll say, wow, he hadn't done that before. That excites me. And this name, image, and likeness, where we're taking care of kids and we're protecting and educating, it excites me. And anyone that tries to slow this train down, it's already left the barn. And I come back to, you don't want to be in the caboose on this. And, you can fail fast. There's things we do we don't like, change it. There's things other states are doing that are better than our state. All right, let's change and move in their direction. There's going to be 50 state laws, and it's going to be that way for at least 3 to 4 years. And I talked to Senator McConnell for 45 minutes, 45, and we talked about this issue when he was the leader of the Senate. I thought we had a chance to do something good. And then Georgia happens, and now it changes everything, and it's become political. But let me say this. Now they've got more important things to do. And I'm telling you that for us to get a federal law, wow, with all that's going on, but state laws are going to run the day, and I think whether it's Speaker Osborne, who I think the world of, and a real leader and a great guy, Robert Stivers, I just heard from Dr. Todd. He is the one for all the universities in this state that changed the rules for bonding money, which gave us the ability to build, including athletic facilities. And it was Robert Stivers who stepped up and said, all right, we're going to change this and give you some latitude and room to make your own decisions and pay your bills and it changed things. So those two coming together to say, how do we do this? I think it's going to be a home run for every university. I'll say it again. I don't know what it's going to do for volleyball, for track, but I know what it'll do for men's basketball and what it does for this program. And as you know, Matt, you've been a part of this even longer than me. When basketball does well, it helps all the other sports. And this I have a responsibility not only to the basketball program, to all the other sports. Yesterday, our softball coach gave me letters that I'm sending, writing handwritten notes to recruits. Volleyball, Coach Skinner brings girls in. They're like in ninth grade. Why do you bring me a ninth grade girl? Volleyball's different. Baseball, Nick, whether it's football, it's gay. I mean, we're in this together. And that's my mentality and always been my mentality. But the current is going one way, and it ain't coming back. You can swim with it, or you can sink. I mean, it's just how it is.
I only got a few minutes. Let me ask you about basketball. Your team, you're going to have what's probably your oldest team since you've been at Kentucky. Are you excited to coach that many veterans? Are you excited? They're new to here, but they're not new to college basketball. Is that a change at all, coaching these older players?
No, we did. Every player that transferred from us, we made sure he was able to play right away. So this rule, transfer without penalty, we've been doing it for a long time. The other thing is I've always taken grad students. You don't understand. They're older, Matt, when I've taken a grad student. And let me say the conversations are different. How I coach them, some of them are grown men. Yeah, you coach them a little different. How about they're always on time and where they're supposed to be, and they don't miss things. Like an 18-year-old who was, parents got him out of bed and made him do stuff. This is totally different. But our young guys that we have are better than I thought. They're better than I thought. Some of the guys have come back and gotten better, and now the competition begins.
You're going to have, you're going to have.
This, and I said this, at the end of the day, I may end up playing the most physical, the best defensive group. If you're physical and last year we had no physicality. It killed us. So if you are physical and you defend, because we got a scoring from a lot of areas, that's who we may run with, because you won't believe this. This is about winning. It's about putting the best team on that gives us a chance to win. And that's what we'll try to do.
You have 12 guys, though, that can play. I mean, even the only time you've had that's 2015, where you've had 12 guys who could, if you needed to, get on the court and really play. Are you excited about that? Are you worried? I mean, you're not worried there's too many people, but are you excited for that competition every day?
I am. And then it's, again, my job is to coach all of them, including walk-ons, not just the top 2-3 guys. And my challenge is to make them uncomfortable and put pressure on them every day so they're comfortable in those kind of situations when we get into games, because every game is someone's Super Bowl we play. And so, yeah. And then how do I do this to keep everybody engaged? That'll be the challenge of it. And that, again, you can tell that excites me. That doesn't scare me. That doesn't, make me go into a shell or into a cave. I'm like, come on, let's go. We'll figure this out. We'll figure it out together. But there is competition. You're responsible for you. I want to play 4 perimeter players, basically like 4 guards. If you don't have guard skills, you can't be in one of those spots.
Well, I was going to ask you that.
You can't be a driver, a creator. You turn it over too much. That's your responsibility to grow your skills.
I just have a minute before we have to go. The 4 perimeter players, do you expect to play lots of guards this year? Because that seems to be the strength.
Well, I've played 3 point guards in the past because that was my best team. There's a couple guys that are playing so well, they may be playing better than that guard, where in the past, Emmanuel Quickly was better than the guy I tried to start early trying to be bigger. It may be the other way. But the reality of it is the perimeter players have to have guard skills. Now, if you're big and you've got guard skills, that's even better. But you're going to have to defend and be tough. If you're doing all those things, you can be a perimeter player. We've got 2 or 3 guys that, Oscar and Lance and even Damian, who's thin and skinny. We got to figure it out. Where are they playing? How do we play with them? How do we, everything we're working on now is teaching them to play basketball, how to play without running plays, how to space, bail out areas if you get stuck. How do you get movement? What are trigger points to get us started? And basically it's where the game's going. The game it's random now. You're watching games of NBA teams, and 90% of it is random. They'll have a trigger that gets them started, then the rest is random. And so I'm just trying to teach that, which, again, is part of our culture here. So when guys leave us, they already know terminology. They already know. They learned to fight. Nothing was guaranteed. You got to fight. If you don't fight like Emmanuel Quickly, hard to make it. Tyrese Maxey, P.J. Washington, I'm just talking the latest guys.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Coach, I hate to cut you off, but they're making me go.
Part of it here.
They're making me go. Thank you very much for your time. I could talk to you all 2 hours. Hopefully we can do it again soon. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye-bye.